Hi, in this video I want to try out the new plugin by Minimal Audio called Flex Chorus. And for full disclosure, the folks over at Minimal Audio were nice enough to send me a copy of their plugin. And so now I'm really excited to be able to test this and try this out a bit. And as you might know, I'm not really looking for a generic chorus effect. I'm more looking for something that I can push a bit and use for more creative sound design. And so this is kind of the direction I want to push this plugin into. So usually when I'm trying out a new plugin or testing something, I like to start with a really generic, boring sound and just see what the plugin does to this sound and just browse for the presets and see if something catches my ear and then kind of work from there and see if I can push it into the direction that I want to. So let's just use some random recording here. Yeah, something like this, just a really boring impact sound. I'm just gonna get rid of all the noise at the end here. Few fade-ins and also push the volume. Okay, so now I'm just gonna browse for the presets and see what happens to the sound. So this is something really interesting that I like about choruses in general, that they are really good for creating this metallic sound. Let's maybe set this to 100% wet. I don't really need the original sound in there anymore. Also this filter, I'm not sure if I want this at the moment. We could also deactivate it, but now it's not really doing much. Let's also see what the voices do here. We lose this metallic character, but it's something a bit more interesting, I think. Really nice texture now. So maybe see what the mod section does here. I'm also going to put in an OTT at the end of this, just to push the sound out a bit more, and because I want this tail to be a lot louder. I would use this probably for some kind of impact as a tail, as a layer in the tail. So let's just record this. So this is really good for getting this kind of warbly, modern sounding tail. If you put a filter on this with an envelope follower, you can probably easily get this kind of modern, rumbly tail stuff. This is already really cool. Maybe let's also try how this sounds on a synthesized sound. Maybe just use operator for this. Draw in a MIDI note. And maybe use something that's a bit more rich in frequencies. And then just copy this chorus over here. Okay, this sounds pretty much like a swarm of bees. So if you ever wanted to sound design a swarm of bees, I guess this is the way to go, probably. Make it a bit more natural with modulation on this filter. But yeah, so this is pretty cool so far. All right, let's keep going. Let's just test out a few more presets here. I'm gonna keep using this sound for now. Let's just browse through the presets here a bit more. This is another really cool tail, I think. Let's maybe try modulating some stuff here. Maybe the time for this. So you can easily get various different textures by modulating this. Let's maybe just bounce one of these versions. It's always interesting to see what happens once you have them in audio when you pitch it down. Or up for that matter. So that's pretty nice as well. Now let's maybe move on to a different sample. I want something a bit more tonal. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. Boost the volume, get rid of some of the noise here. And then just copy both of these down here. And let's maybe head over to the spaces section and see what kind of stuff we get here. Yeah, no, this is also really metallic. Let's maybe see what happens if we automate this or modulate this. Maybe use an LFO here and put this on the time. This sounds kind of like an anime sound effect, I think, but the problem is that our sound is a bit too short, so maybe just use a reverb on this one. This is what I meant. So yeah, the sound of the reverb doesn't really make that much of a difference, but it helps us to make the sound just longer, to have a longer tail for this. So let's maybe just quickly bounce this. And then see if maybe we can make like a quick impact sound or something like that. Maybe let's use just a kick, clean one for this. And yeah, maybe just some rumble stuff. Maybe this, and just cut a bit of this and also make it a lot lower. And fade this in a bit. Sounds kind of interesting. And again, let's see what happens if we pitch this up or down. Yeah, I think if you pitch this lower, then it gets even more of this anime character. But actually, this is a really cool way to get these kinds of sounds. I guess if you put in different sources, you're also gonna get quite different sounds now. Because this still sounds like the original sound a bit, like the bottle sound. So different sources will give you a lot of variations for this. Let's maybe try one more thing with this glass bottle here. Let's get rid of this stuff for now. Initialize this. Let's see if maybe we can get something interesting also from this multiband section here. Let's see what we can change here. Play around with the voices. This always can change the sound quite a bit. All right, this is quite intense, but maybe we can also automate some stuff on this one. Yeah, so this is pretty cool actually. With the mod here, we can create pretty much like a downshifting sound. This could also be used as like a shutdown sound for, you know, futuristic machinery or spaceships or whatever. At least this could be a good layer for this kind of stuff. Maybe pitch this also around a bit. I think this is pretty cool as well. So yeah, this is pretty nice. I think we were able to quickly come up with a bunch of different sounds, and I will definitely continue to experiment with this a bit more. It looks like it's definitely really good for creating futuristic sci-fi sounds. And I think especially once you start modulating a lot of this stuff, you can get really intricate, interesting sounds.